Good evening. Welcome to the in-house debate. I am Oinita Moja. 12-year-old Tadu Haro, a class 7 student at the Sainik School in Pasighat in Arunachal Pradesh, died by suicide on November 1st. He committed suicide because he was ragged, humiliated and harassed by class 8 and class 10 students. The case was handed over to the crime branch of Arunachal Pradesh, and a special investigative team is also probing the case, and the 5 people, including 2 hostel wardens and the hostel superintendent, were arrested. Yesterday, the UP District Court granted bail to all the 5 accused. Also, the 8 accused students continue to attend class. Now, the big question is, how did the accused get bail? Did the police do a shoddy job? Why no action against the 8 accused students? Will Tadu haro get justice at all? And the larger questions: why ragging continues in educational institutes? Why authorities are not able to prohibit ragging in educational institutes? I have my colleagues Nabarun Goswami and Rashmi Bhuyan Sharma. Nabarun is our Chief News Editor and Rashmi is our Senior Anchor. Thank you both for joining. And today we are going to discuss and debate this very important issue of ragging and justice for those who have been the victims. I mean, we have the anti-ragging law there, but more than 4,000 cases being reported. This number is as per the UGC data. You know, sometimes the number has gone up to close to 8,000. So, Nabarun, first of course, let's talk about the UP District Court's granting bail to the accused. What is the kind of message that this sends out?
Yes, we are not questioning the ruling by a court here or the granting of a bail by a court here. Let us make this clear at the very outset.
Yes, which is why the question, if there was some lack of evidence or the case was not foolproof.
Absolutely. Did the police do their job properly? Did the SIT, excuse me, did their job properly? If yes, then how this all 5 accused could secure their bail?
Yes.
And that is a big question that arises. Now, if to understand the gravity of the situation, the problem with most ragging cases is that it's very difficult. If there is even a little bit of lack of intent from the investigators, it's very difficult to collect evidence, because it's not a case of murder. It's an indirect case of killing someone, but again, there is not enough evidence. There are loopholes in the law despite strict provisions being in place. It is these loopholes that are being exploited by those who are the accused to secure bails and eventually to evade punishment. And that's what happens in probably most ragging cases, over 90% of them. This is what has happened across the country. Now, we have to understand why, this case. We heard the family all along saying that this 12-year-old was subjected to at least 3 hours of ragging the previous night.
Right, and in fact, there's CCTV footage of all of those.
CCTV evidence. It is only after the CCTV footage came out that they could figure that out, that what had actually happened. So, this should not happen to any 12-year-old. How come the institute here is also big time responsible, has to take responsibility? The ones who are arrested, yes, it's not about you being involved in the crime, but it's also about negligence, as a big time negligence. How could this happen? For 3 hours a child is being ragged, and nobody, the hostel warden, the hostel warden is mainly responsible, is not even aware of it.
Right. Yes.
So, yes.
Of course, as of now, there's no action being taken against the principal of the school, and this is a Sainik school that we are talking about. Rashmi, बहुत कुछ लगता है, बहुत loopholes पूरे केस के इन्वेस्टिगेशन में अभी भी है.
बिल्कुल, कहीं ना कहीं ये बहुत बड़ी लापरवाही भी है, और ख़ासकर अगर मैं कहूँ तो सबसे बड़ी, जो सबसे पहली जिम्मेदारी होती है वो स्कूल प्रबंधन की होती है, और उसके बाद होती है पेरेंट्स की. लेकिन यहाँ पे हम जब देख रहे हैं कि इतना बड़ा रैगिंग का केस हो रहा है, कब से चल रहा था, क्यों चल रहा था, कोई जानकारी नहीं। और तादू हारो की जो बहन है, अगर वो एक फेमस मिस अरुणाचल 2024 है, अगर उन्होंने सोशल मीडिया में आगे आकर नहीं कहा होता तो क्या ये केस दब जाता? क्या ये भी एक बड़ा सवाल है कि क्या ये केस दब जाता? लेकिन जिस तरह से अब ये केस आगे बढ़ रहा है तो उम्मीद हम ये करेंगे कि जस्टिस मिले। लेकिन अभी भी ये सवाल है कि कहाँ लूप होल्स है, कैसे जमानत मिल गई, क्यों जमानत मिल गई? जब 5 आरोपियों को पकड़ा गया, क्यों उन्हें इतनी आसानी से जमानत दे दिया गया? और सबसे बड़ा तो सवाल यही है कि शिक्षा प्रबंध जो शैक्षणिक संस्थान होता है, चाहे स्कूल का प्रबंधन हो, कॉलेज प्रबंधन हो, तो सबसे पहले जो उनकी जिम्मेदारी होती है वो नियम जो उन्हें लागू करना चाहिए, उन्हें क्या यहाँ सख्ती से लागू थे?
ये पहला केस नहीं है, सबको पता ही है, अरुणाचल में पहला केस नहीं है, इसलिए इस चीज़ को बहुत ज़्यादा सीरियसली लेना चाहिए। पब्लिक सेंटिमेंट्स भी अटैच्ड है, ऑफ कोर्स वी अंडरस्टैंड पब्लिक सेंटिमेंट्स एंड लॉ डोंट गो अलोंग टुगेदर। फॉर कन्विक्टिंग समवन यू हैव टू प्रूव, यू हैव टू हैव क्रूशियल एविडेंस, फॉर डिनाइंग बेल यू हैव टू हैव एविडेंस। मगर यहाँ पे लापरवाही क्लियरली है जिससे एक मासूम की जान गई है। Did the SIT, how could all these accused were arrested? When they were arrested, there was clearly some evidence against them, or at least some serious questions of negligence, which is why they were arrested in the first place, and you couldn't retain them for even a month.
Right. Barely 7 to 10 days, I think, in judicial custody and police custody. That's about it.
उसके बावजूद कुछ नहीं हुआ, एक्सपेंशन नहीं हुआ, कुछ नहीं किया। लेकिन इससे पहले भी इस तरह का केस है, JNV में हुआ था, बडुमसा में, वहाँ पे भी निलंबन किया गया था, जो छात्र थे निलंबन किया गया था। लेकिन इस केस में क्यों नहीं हुआ? उनको हिरासत में लिया गया, लेकिन उसके बाद कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई। अभी वो लोग पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं।
We are not alleging, we are not saying that these people are responsible. We are not even saying that. Let's put that.
बिल्कुल वो responsible
हम ये नहीं कह रहे कि ये जो लोग अरेस्ट किए, इनको बेल मिला है, उनको that's between the investigators and the court. But somebody is responsible here. Either you have arrested the wrong people.
You know, I would like to raise the bigger question mark is on the school authority.
Absolutely.
You know why? ठीक है, हॉस्टल वार्डन्स को अरेस्ट किया, सुपरिंटेंडेंट हॉस्टल सुपरिंटेंडेंट को अरेस्ट किया, लेकिन व्हाट अबाउट द प्रिंसिपल? उनके अगेंस्ट में कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं किया गया है अभी तक? ओके, दैट इज वन, एंड द स्कूल इज रनिंग एज नॉर्मल। और दूसरा ये है कि वो जो 8 बच्चे, they are also, of course we understand they are juveniles, they are minors, but there is the Juvenile Justice Board. And nowhere it is written that they cannot be punished. जब वहाँ पे CCTV footage है, then why no action against the class 8 and class 10 children? You know, they did torture a child, so action should have been taken. And also a question arises about the parents of these children, these 8 young boys. You know, as parents, do they not feel responsible for what their kids have done to another younger child?
बिल्कुल, लेकिन पेरेंट्स का भी यहाँ पे एक बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी, एक बहुत बड़ा रोल होता है। उनको हमेशा ध्यान रखना चाहिए कि क्या उनके बच्चे इस तरह की रैगिंग जैसा कोई अपराध का शिकार हो रहे हैं। हमेशा उनको इस बात का ध्यान रखना चाहिए। और जो बच्चे रैगिंग कर रहे हैं, कहीं ना कहीं उनका जो एक मानसिकता, जो मेंटालिटी है, वो एक बड़ा फैक्टर है, मुझे जहाँ तक लगता है। क्योंकि ये जो एक जैसे जलन की भावना हो या कुछ हो, तो ये अचानक से नहीं आता, ये अचानक से नहीं आता। रूल्स बनाए हुए हैं, लेकिन रूल्स अगर सही ढंग से फॉलो नहीं हो रहे हैं, तब भी ये हो सकता है।
For children, it starts at a very early stage. That's the nature of children. Children are kind. They can be cruel also at the same time. They are just children. They see and they do all kinds of things. From a toddler going on a school bus being hit by a fellow classmate, and then if you don't take it seriously, at least the toddler has to be called next day and said, "Ki, you shouldn't do this. This is next time you do this, there will be some. You will be reprimanded. There will be some punishment."
सुधारना होगा,
even if it's a scolding.
Yes, scolding, or the message should go that you are not supposed to do this. If you do this, probably there is some action that will follow. That is the case. Otherwise, of course, you know, it's common. We know we cannot blame the children. That's why they are called children, and that's why they are minors, juveniles. They cannot be tried in a court. There's a juvenile justice board. There's a juvenile home. But the bigger question that rises here is that are there conditions that led to these kind of incidents? This didn't happen in a day. This ragging incident, it was continuing and it was an outburst.
Yes.
The 12-year-old boy decided to take that drastic step because he couldn't bear it anymore. So it's not the first day.
And he was singled out.
Singled out, an ongoing thing for months. How how can, again I raise the same question, how can a hostel
Yeah.
be without any warden or without any vigil for such a long time that a child could, in fact systems should be such that the entire room, the sleeping areas, the warden's room should be just next to it.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सिस्टम में एक बहुत बड़ी सुधार की
Yeah.
ज़रूरत है, क्योंकि मैं जहाँ तक मेरा कहना है कि एक जिस तरह का एंटी रैगिंग एक हेल्पलाइन भी होना चाहिए कि बच्चों को ये जानकारी होनी चाहिए अगर मेरे साथ कुछ गलत हो रहा है मैं कहाँ रिपोर्ट करूँ। कई बार वो लोग डरे होते हैं कि क्या अगर मैं ये बोल दूंगा तो क्या होगा, क्या मेरा एकेडमिक कैरियर खराब होगा। ये सब कई जो चीज़ें होती है वो बच्चों के दिमाग में चलती है और इसकी वजह से वो लोग वो चीज़ें रिपोर्ट नहीं कर पाते। पेरेंट्स से भी बोलने की कोशिश करते हैं लेकिन कई बार होता है कि पेरेंट्स नज़रअंदाज कर देते उस चीज़ को।
बिल्कुल। इनफैक्ट जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड द केस बेटर, वी अर्लियर स्पोक टू एडवोकेट रोइनम मोसांग. If we can listen to her, what she said.
As being an advocate, in my opinion, I feel that bail has been granted by the court because in criminal law, an accused is considered innocent until proven guilty. Bail does not mean that the accused are free from the charges. It only means that the court has allowed them temporary release during the trial. The investigation is still going on, the charges still stand, and all the accused will continue to face the legal process. And as a human, not as an advocate, but as a human being, I feel that we respect the court decision, but we will not step back from the pursuit of justice. Bail is only a temporary phase. Accountability and truth are the final destination. Our fight is lawful, our voice is peaceful, and our resolve is unshakable. Justice for Tadu is not only a demand, it is our duty as a society.
सीनियर एडवोकेट सर, आपको क्या लगता है कि लेट तादू हारो को क्या जस्टिस मिलेगा या फिर डिलीवर्ड होगा कि
नहीं? वो तो मिलना चाहिए। दैट द victim must get the justice at any cost because and the inquiry, the officer who is inquiring upon this case, they should not spare anything. They should not let anything. Investigation must carry out from the ground to the top of that institution, and there is negligence as per my opinion, that there might be a negligence and negligence from the carelessness from the part of the institution. That's why such things was allowed to act by the minor student, and subsequently the innocent the child has lost a life. तो स्कूल का अंदर में जो इन्होंने इन लोग जो रैगिंग का एक दूसरा को रैगिंग करते हैं, रैग करते हैं स्टूडेंट विद इन द स्टूडेंट, तो इसके लिए वो स्कूल का इंस्टीट्यूशन का जो हेड ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशन लोग उसमें कमेटी बनाना है। कमेटी देखे उसको बच्चा लोग को निगरानी करना है, जैसा ग्रुपिज्म कर रहा है, और उसका जो बिहेवियर, उसका जो बच्चा का बिहेवियर को देखना है। इंस्टीट्यूशन का जो हेड ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन लोग बच्चा का बिहेवियर जो थोड़ा वो कंट्रोल कर नहीं सकने वाले, उसको अच्छा से उसको किस तरफ से उसको मोल्ड करना है, वो टोटली इंस्टीट्यूशन का जो हेड ऑफ का इंस्टीट्यूशन का ऊपर और इसका टीचर्स का ऊपर में भी होता है, और खास तौर पेरेंट्स का ऊपर भी जाता है ये।
Well, that was our Itanagar correspondent Chuku Menya. She spoke to advocate Regum Nabam. He's the advocate at the Guwahati High Court's permanent bench in Itanagar. We are now being joined by our correspondent from Pasighat, Maksam Tayeng. Maksam, what is the latest that you have for us on this particular case? Has there been any action taken against the school? What we had picked up is that the school continues to function normally, and also the 8 accused students, they are also attending their classes.
Yes, Auditom, we have just in a while ago we have spoken to the SIT, this Superintendent of Police, Sibendu Bhushan, and he has just updated us saying that all those 5 the suspect from the Sainik School Niglok Pasighat has been given bail from the court, and especially those five involved are this hostel superintendent, the ward master of the Tadu haro and other seniors, and also the caretaker. So all five of them have been given bail yesterday, and of course from the police and from the this SIT side, they have been putting all out effort to go to the deep inside the investigation and to give punishment, to give the exact result, the exact incident reported to the government. And it is also very important to mention here that all those the eight this CCLS, uh, those senior students who were involved in ragging, they were given already released from the this Juvenile Justice Board, and even the SIT after the transferring of case from Pasighat Police to the SIT Itanagar. There has been certain this rumors, even the complaints from the parents and the public of Arunachal Pradesh that the justice hasn't been delivered to the late this Tadu haro, because Tadu haro have just committed the suicide because of the ragging. So there was some certain dissatisfaction among the people, the public here, that this Juvenile Justice Board haven't done justice to the victim. And we also spoke to the father of late Tadu haro. We spoke to the father, this Tadu Tane, and Tadu Tane just informed this evening that even though the bail has been granted to all the suspects, those who have been responsible for their negligence for the death of Tadu haro, he said that he will keep on fighting through the court, through the system, through the law, that unless and until justice is not delivered to his son, he will keep on fighting, not only for his son, but for the entire the people, the parents whose children are studying and living in the hostel. So they have shown their dissatisfaction, and they were definitely unhappy about the bail granted. But he has said that he will keep on fighting against the injustice done against his son.
All right, Maksam. Thank you for those updates. Noburun and Rashmi, you know, of course, yesterday we did see the Apatani Students Union, the all Nishi Students Union, and also the family members of Tadu haro coming out and, you know, holding that rally there. They had given a 7-day ultimatum also to the government, to given a memorandum to the governor of Arunachal Pradesh. But why did it have to come to this? A child dies, CCTV footage is there, arrests are made, already the family members are going through a lot of pain. Is it not the state government's responsibility to be more proactive in such cases? Yes, we all understand law, you know, the investigation will take time, the whole legal system will take time for proper, you know, conviction and all of those, it will take time. But yes,
समय लगेगा, बट अब इस तरह से अगर संगठन आगे आ रहे हैं तो इंसाफ की वो मांग कर रहे हैं। इंसाफ चाहिए, जल्द से जल्द इंसाफ चाहिए, क्योंकि ये पहला मामला नहीं है और एक छात्र की जान जाती है, इतने भयंकर तरीके से अत्याचार किया जाता है, उसे प्रताड़ित किया जाता है और आखिरकार उससे एक सुसाइड जैसा जो कदम है वो उठाना पड़ता है। तो इंसाफ की मांग, जैसे अभी हमने सुना पिता भी उनके कह रहे हैं, काफ़ी दुखी हैं वो। बेल मिल गई है, बेल भले ही मिल गई है, अभी प्रूफ कुछ नहीं हुआ है, राहत के लिए दी गई है बेल, लेकिन सवाल यही है कि जो बेल मिला है, अब नाराज़गी है, लेकिन किस तरह से मानसिक दबाव पड़ा है अब जो पीड़ित परिवार है उस पर, क्योंकि जब इस तरह से एक नाराज़गी हो रही है तो पीड़ित परिवार पर निश्चित रूप से एक बड़ा मानसिक दबाव है।
See, there is also a lot of reason why, as you said, as you just mentioned, why it had to come to this. Perhaps you'll agree, after the incident, yes, there has been demand for justice and the protests that we have seen, but that there was not still enough noise or hue and cry over the incident.
Absolutely, yes.
From
True.
the authorities side,
Yeah.
we heard the education minister saying we can only advise the
Yes.
Sainik school.
Yes.
We didn't hear enough from the chief minister
Almost,
of
you
the
know, throwing
state.
his hands
We didn't hear enough
up
from
in
the
the air.
political class. It doesn't matter whether technically Sainik school, which
Comes
again
under
is
their
supposed to be a
jurisdiction
strict
or not.
place where these
Yes.
kind of incidents shouldn't have taken place in the first time. It doesn't matter under whom it comes, but the right message should have gone down. Ultimately, now it's the Itanagar crime branch which is taking up the clip, which is
And
taking
the
up the
SIT
case.
also is investigating. Yes.
Absolutely. So that message also has to go down somewhere, that the authorities are watching, the government is watching, and that the case will reach its logical conclusion sooner than later. Probably a fast track court
Right. Should have
hearing could have been
come up.
announced, a lot
Yeah.
of things would have been done, because this is not an isolated case. It has become a trend, and it is very important to take exceptional interest in these kind of cases. Any crime is a crime. This is of course a case of an alleged suicide, but definitely it has become a trend, especially in the Siang region of Arunachal. We have heard of several such cases. Hence it was important for the authorities to also be very vocal about it. That would have sent a message across to everyone.
Right.
Everyone, from the school authorities to anyone dealing with the case, anyone who has got as a witness to the case, the investigators, we are not questioning them by any means.
Yes.
But that message had to go down for them to know, the public, the people are watching you. Probably that has not happened, and that's why we see this, what is
What
happening
we are
right
saying.
now.
And also we really don't know whether the schools in Arunachal Pradesh, particularly this particular school, the Sainik school, whether they have the necessary, you know, anti-ragging committees. And also जैसे आपने बताया था कि psychological, मानसिकता बच्चों का, you know, could be just a small fight could become an ugly thing for amongst kids. Their psychology is very different. So psychologist का होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, या even otherwise counseling from the teachers, that
See,
also is necessary in
the sad
schools.
part is that even after this incident, we really didn't hear about what additional steps will be taken, not only by this school but all the other schools. What instructions? Just following the anti-ragging measures and putting up the notices is not enough.
Not enough.
What
exactly.
has been done?
And this is where the Arunachal education minister should have stepped
Absolutely.
in and said कि this is what
What's
we are
stopping
doing.
them to setting up a task force to
Yes.
look into
हाँ.
it
और
and
सिर्फ
visit
इतना
every
ही-
residential school and check? This has not happened.
और
What's
सिर्फ
stopping
इतना
them
ही नहीं-
from setting up a committee to monitor all this and submit a
Absolutely.
report, give a list of schools of the measures being there? Where is the urgency? What is the urgency? We are debating
Totally
here.
missing.
Absolutely.
मैं कह रही हूँ कि सिर्फ इतना ही नहीं, जब कोई भी नया स्टूडेंट आता है तो उसको सीनियर स्टूडेंट्स के साथ अच्छे से उसको मिलाया जाए, अवेयर किया जाए कि देखो हमारा जो इंस्टीट्यूशन है इसमें अगर तुम्हारे साथ कुछ गलत हो रहा है तो तुम हमें रिपोर्ट कर सकते हो. वार्डन जो है हॉस्टल में अगर रहते हैं, वार्डन का कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर्स उनके पास होना चाहिए कि, और वार्डन के साथ उनको इतना फ्री होना चाहिए कि हाँ कुछ भी मेरे साथ हो रहा है मैं उनको रिपोर्ट कर सकता हूँ, उनसे संपर्क कर सकता हूँ. तो एक बहुत बड़े कदम उठाने की ज़रूरत है यहाँ पर.
Lot of missing links.
Absolutely.
Lot of missing
Absolutely.
links. The school, the government, the education minister himself, and also a lot of you know gaps there as far
Absolutely.
as the school authority, parents,
Yes.
everybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
And given the number of incidents that we have seen from Arunachal alone in the last decade,
Including the residential school incidents
mainly,
too.
Yeah, mainly residential schools, that should have been enough to send out
Right. Yes.
you know, zero tolerance message every time, any time there's a newcomer or the students there in the hostels, a clear message. Any complaint comes against you, you know, you may just lose
Right.
your seat in the school. Be prepared for it.
Yes.
Make them
And
stand.
that's okay. I mean, a lot of people will be against it. No, you cannot be so firm. This, but when it
No, but the
lives are being
Juvenile
lost,
Justice Act
lives are being lost.
has these provisions.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
rustication, cancellation of
Absolutely.
admission, everything is there.
आप देखिए
You asked
ragging
me
वाला
when I
case.
was in school, my biggest fear was TC. We used to call it TC, transfer certificate. If you
Right.
if you are being naughty and you're caught being naughty and the principal happens to see you, he'll give you a TC.
You had
and that's
it.
the biggest
You are-
fear.
yes.
TC
the
मतलब
biggest
बहुत
fear.
बड़ा
That has
है,
to be
बहुत
there.
बड़ा है.
And then that's a
Absolutely.
spot on you, a blot.
और अगर सबसे बड़ी चिंता की बात यह है कि अगर आप 2025 में देखें तो 13% जो रैगिंग केसेस है वो बढ़ा है. और
Right.
पहले अगर 2022 तक अगर रैगिंग की वजह से 7 स्टूडेंट्स मरते थे तो अब 17 मर रहे हैं. तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात है।
Yes.
क्यों इतना बड़ा एक संख्या क्यों हो रहा है?
Yeah, somewhere you know, मुझे ऐसा भी लगता है कि जो एंटी रैगिंग लॉ है शायद उसके प्रोविजंस और थोड़ा स्ट्रिंजेंट होना चाहिए, एंड आई थिंक द फ्लॉ लाइज विद
It's
द
about implementation.
इंस्टीट्यूट्स.
Implementation, exactly. The institutes. If they
मेडिकल
want, yeah.
कॉलेजेस,
Yeah.
हॉटस्पॉट,
Engineering colleges,
Yes.
medical colleges.
सबसे ज्यादा मेडिकल कॉलेजेस में
बिल्कुल
रैगिंग का
बिल्कुल.
40% केसेस होता है वो मेडिकल कॉलेजेस, इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस वहाँ से होता है।
Yes, and we've ourselves reported so many incidents. One I remember we reported, I think, from Dibrugarh, Moran,
Yes.
where the boy jumped from his third floor or fourth floor hostel just because he could not take it any longer. So, of course, now the fact remains that everybody, starting from the parents, the families, schools, educational institutes, the authorities, the government, everybody has to now take this thing very seriously, because lives are getting lost, young lives. This
It's
just 12-year-old.
absolutely simple. Residential schools are not a new thing. Our parents, some
Yes.
of our parents have also studied in residential schools, but things were so strict back then that nobody dared, even come a
Right.
minute late back to the hostel.
Yes.
Things were that strict. So yes, where the idea is to create awareness, but that firmness also has to be there in place.
Yes, absolutely. And we just hope that Tadu haro gets justice, and we don't want any more Tadu haro incidents to be repeated anywhere across Northeast and in India. I thank my colleagues for joining, and thank you all for watching. News and updates continue on the other side.